Hey guys, I'm Deepthi and in today's video I'm going to be testing out some waterproof makeup products. Now all the products that I'm going to be testing out are not really waterproof. Like some of them have the claim that they're waterproof, but some of them are supposed to be like long wearing makeup. And some of it I'm just curious, they're not mentioned to be long wearing or they're not mentioned to be waterproof. I'm just curious, so I'm going to be testing it out. So after I do my full face of makeup, I will be putting some water on my face and you can see it in action if it's waterproof or not. So if you guys have a primer that you like to use, I recommend sticking to that, but I don't really have a primer. I should be getting one soon. So instead of primer, I will be using the Cetaphil Daily Advanced Ultra Hydrating Lotion. This is for dry to very dry skin, and the claim on this is like it's supposed to hydrate and protect your skin for 24 hours. And the reason I'm using this as a primer is because the second ingredient in this is glycerin, and that would sort of make the makeup hold on pretty well, and that's the reason I'm using this one as a primer on my skin. So firstly I will be doing my eyes, and for that I will be using this Lakme 925 Quad. This is in the shade Desert Rose, and this retails for more than 600 rupees, but you can always get it on sale for around 415. And this doesn't claim to be waterproof, but it's supposed to last from 9 to 5, which is quite a decent amount of time, and it's supposed to be like a long wearing eyeshadow. So I will be applying this shade all over my lid. This is like a very pigmented eyeshadow, and it turns out to be all the more intense if you use it wet. And since I don't really have like a transition shade, I will be using this L'Oreal Bronzer as a transition, which I will also be testing out in this video today. And now towards the center of my lid, I will be applying this shade just to add like a little bit like a halo effect. So now that I've done like the basic eye look, so now I'll be moving on to foundation, and for foundation I will be using this Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I'm in the shade 05 Warm Beige. This is a little light for me. I should have gone with a shade darker, and this is supposed to be a waterproof foundation. Now this is actually like a full coverage foundation, and you can sheer it out depending on how you like it. If you want to apply it with a beauty blend or something, you can sheer it out definitely, but I like applying this foundation with a brush, and it's full coverage. It doesn't dry out the skin, it doesn't make it look cakey, but it just gives a very nice finish to the skin. Now for concealer, I will be using this NYX Gotcha Covered Total Concealer. This is a waterproof concealer, and I'm in the shade medium. Yeah, like that is the consistency of the concealer. It's super thick. And this concealer has a very sticky consistency, so you'll definitely would have to set it. So I will be setting the concealer and the rest of my face with this Maybelline Super Fresh 12-hour whitening and perfecting compact. It's supposed to be a very long lasting compact, so that's the reason I'm testing it out. And it also claims to be sweat proof. This is an amazing compact which is really good for the price, guys. You can get this on discount for about 120 rupees. The original MRP of this is 150. And I love it. I use it pretty much every single day to set my concealer. So now I'll finish off the rest of my eye makeup. And now for Kajal, I will be using this Plum waterproof Kajal. This is the Kajal that I use pretty much every single day. And then for mascara. And for mascara, I will be using this Maybelline The Falsies Volume Express waterproof mascara. So now again, to finish up the rest of my face, for bronzer I will be using this L'Oreal Bronzer Duo. I will be using only the bronzer end of this. It's one of my favorite bronzers. I really like it. It's very subtle, and I will be going a little heavy hand with the products because I want to see how it looks when it's wet, and a little bit on the forehead. So now for blush, I will be using this Maybelline Dream Touch blush in the shade number 05. It's a very like moussey consistency, and I'm just curious to see how it lasts, and it's supposed to be a long wearing blush. Okay guys, this blush emphasizes texture. So now for highlight, I will be using this Makeup Revolution Shimmer Brick in the shade Radiant. This is one of the most long wearing affordable highlighters that I own, and it's amazing on the skin. It's the most intense one. It doesn't emphasize all that much texture on the skin. I mean, it doesn't certainly look natural, but it doesn't emphasize too much texture. And now for lips, I will be using this Chambhor Xtreme Wear Transfer Proof Liquid Lipstick. It's supposed to be transfer proof, and I don't know if it's waterproof. We're just going to be testing it out. So I'm just going to be giving it a minute to dry, and then you guys will be seeing me testing it out with water. So let's go. Hey guys, I'm back and my face is still dripping wet from the water from my hair and all that, but OMG, I'm super impressed with the way most of the makeup lasted. Now, ignore the fact that I look weird and like a wet chicken or something. The foundation has stayed in place, intact, like just like the way I applied it. And in fact, it looks even better after wetting my face. It's not faded away. It's not, patchy or anything of that sort. It's definitely waterproof, and it's also a very long wearing foundation. So if you are someone who sweats a lot and you're looking for just the right foundation, this is the one for you. This retails for 1,295 on Nykaa, and you can get it around 1,100 rupees when it's on discount, and it's a very, very good foundation. So now coming to this L'Oreal bronzer, I can see like traces of it on my forehead and on my cheek. So it's not completely there and it's not completely faded away. And it's not the product's fault because it doesn't claim to be a long-lasting bronzer, but it is one of my favorite bronzers, so I wanted to test it out. So this is not going to last on your face the entire day, and especially if you sweat and all that, this will fade away very, very soon. So if you want your product to last really long, this is not the one. So now coming to the blush, I'm super impressed with the lasting part of this blush. It's really definitely long lasting. You can still see the blush where I applied it. It hasn't faded away, but I'm not a big fan of the texture of this blush because it emphasizes texture on my skin. Like, you can never notice that texture on my skin until I apply this blush, so I'm not a very big fan of it. Now coming to this highlighter, which is one of my absolute favorite highlighters. It's definitely one of my favorite for a reason. It's super long lasting, super intense. Even after I wet my face, it's still there on my face. I can still see it. It looks even better when it's wet, and it's amazing, guys. You must check this one out. Oh, also the concealer. Now this concealer is definitely waterproof. Like, it is in place, like I can see it still underneath my eyes, but it does split a little bit. I think it's because of the texture of this product. It does kind of like split a little bit, but nothing too ugly, and it doesn't look really bad underneath the eyes. It's definitely not going to be everybody's favorite concealer. This can be a little too thick for some of y'all, especially if you have very dry under eyes. It can be a little too weird in consistency for some of y'all, like it can be too thick and sticky. So if you don't mind all that and you don't mind setting it with a powder, then it's an amazing concealer. It is in place, so it's definitely long lasting. And I really like this. It does look a little weird underneath the eyes after I wet it, like it has split a little bit, but it doesn't look crazy. It's a really good concealer and I do like it. So now moving on to this product, which is the Lakme 9 to 5 Quad. It's definitely long wearing. It stayed in place. I mean, it did smudge a little bit into my crease, but it doesn't look crazy. It doesn't look bad. I didn't have any expectations for this to last this well. So yeah, it hasn't even moved all that much. Like here, I cannot see it smudge here and all that. It stayed in place. It's kind of like blended into the crease. So amazing eyeshadow. So now coming to these two eye products, which is the Plum Kajal and the mascara. Kajal has stayed in place. It hasn't like moved around anything of that sort. It has stayed in place. It's a very good Kajal. It's one of my favorite actually. And also the mascara hasn't moved at all. It is definitely, both of this is waterproof. Amazing product. So lastly, coming to the lipstick, even this, you guys, is waterproof. I mean, I didn't even expect it for the consistency of this. It's a little bit moussey, so I thought it'll move around or something, or maybe even feather. But it hasn't moved around at all. It hasn't even feathered, or there's no bleeding or anything of that sort. I actually applied it pretty messy and really nice, stays in place. Very good product. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. The best part about this is that all these products are easily available in India. So now you know where to look for if you want like sweat proof, waterproof products. So do comment down below if you have any other product recommendations that is waterproof and something that's like super interesting. Do let us know in the comment section down below, and also let me know what other videos you would like to see. So don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.